you're more likely to hear unexplainable sounds during storms. And over 70% of Home Alone horror claims happen during heavy rain. Not all of them can be blamed on pipes. These aren't ghost stories. They're real reports from people who were completely alone until they weren't. One heard breathing behind the shower curtain. Another found wet footprints that started inside their house. Have you ever been home alone on a stormy night and heard something that didn't make sense? Tell your story in the comments. We dare you. The storm that knocked. Lena lived alone in the countryside, where rainstorms sounded like war drums. At 2:14 a.m., she heard it. 3 knocks at the door, perfectly spaced, not frantic, not hesitant, just intentional. She waited. No second knock, but something didn't sit right. She checked the porch through the window. It was empty. Still, she whispered aloud, half laughing to herself, not opening that. The moment the words left her lips, a voice from the other side of the door echoed her back. Same tone, same inflection, not opening that. She backed away, phone in hand, but the voice said one more thing. But I already did. The footsteps stopped at her door. It started with a drip, then the unmistakable creak of old wood. Olivia was 16, home alone while her parents stayed overnight in another city. The house was quiet, but then she heard it. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, echoing from the hallway. Hardwood planks moaned under weight that wasn't hers. She froze. The steps grew closer, then stopped directly outside her bedroom door. No knock, just silence. After 10 full minutes, she worked up the nerve to open it. No one was there, but muddy boot prints were. They led to her door and stopped. The rest of the house, bone-dried and windows locked. A voice that knew her name. When power flickers during a storm, most people grab flashlights. Dana lit candles. The soft orange glow calmed her until she heard her name, not shouted. It was whispered. She spun around, but no one was there. Checked. The door. It was locked. The windows closed. Then the whisper came again. Her full name this time, one she hadn't used in years. Only her late grandmother called her that. As the wind howled louder, the hallway light flicked on by itself. That light had been broken for months. Her phone buzzed with a notification. Motion detected. Hallway. But nothing showed on camera. Still here. That means you're just as haunted by these as we are. Subscribe to Whisper Morrow, and if you've got a rainy night story, drop it in the comments. Your nightmare might be next week's feature. The wet handprint on the mirror. Brandon liked stormy nights. They made showers feel cozy, like a safe bubble away from the noise. But that illusion shattered the moment he stepped out. He wiped the fogged mirror and found a wet handprint pressed against the glass. The bathroom door was still locked. His towel still hung neatly. He hadn't touched the mirror, and the print wasn't shaped like his. It was longer, thinner, just wrong. He froze, staring at the slow drip trailing from the handprint's base to the door. By the time he opened the door to check the hallway, it was empty. He turned around to the mirror. The handprint had vanished, as if it was never there in the first place. The scratching under the floorboards, it started small, just a soft tick beneath the couch. Evan figured it was a mouse until it began scratching in rhythm. Every 5 seconds, then came the whisper, "Let me up," quiet but deliberate. It repeated, again and again and again. He pried up one of the old floorboards, expecting insulation or rodent droppings, but instead, he found a single iron key, rusted, cold, wrapped in a faded red ribbon. Pest control found no signs of animals, but the scratching stopped completely. The security app. It was just past midnight when Claire's phone buzzed. Motion detected. Front porch. She glanced at her security app. A man stood still under the porch light. Face blurry, eyes dark. not moving. She called 911 immediately. Officers arrived 10 minutes later, but no one was there. But when she reviewed the footage again, her stomach dropped. The man didn't walk up, he just appeared. Even worse, 20 minutes later, her living room camera flickered, just once, and showed that same man, standing in the corner, for less than a second. The phone call from the basement. When the lights went out during a thunderstorm, Marcus didn't panic. His cell phone still had a charge, but then it rang, and the screen read, "Incoming call, home line." The only problem, his landline was disconnected. "Has been since last spring," he answered. But it was just static, then a single, garbled word, "Hello." Marcus hung up. 2 minutes later, the phone rang again. Same message. He turned off the phone, but the ringing kept echoing through the house. And then, the basement door slowly creaked open by itself. Storms carry more, thank Justendra. They stir memory, emotion, and something else. When you're alone, the mind can fill in gaps. But what if it's not your mind filling them? What if something else already lives in the silence?